Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Thank you. Well, a few of you know me, a few of you don't, so I want to give a brief introduction of myself. I'm Matt Laughridge. I have quite a few roots in this community. I came here in 8th grade, went to high school here, went off to college, Birmingham Southern College, and started out as a biochem major there, and wanted to become a doctor. I went through a lot of youth leadership forums. I went through a lot of medical forums. That's what I thought I wanted to do. And in college, I also played golf full time. That's what helped pay for my scholastic endeavor there. And also joined a fraternity there, Sigma Chi. So if anybody's Sigma Chi, and hope. What I will say, though, that was one of the most discouraging things was, as a dream to be a doctor, I saw Obama come in and change that and bring in Obamacare, the affordable health care. And simple economics taught us that that's not going to work. We won't be able to have that, get the best doctors, the best infrastructure, and everything like that. So there's about 10 of us that said we can do something a little more advantageous, a different way. So I went to economics and I went to business. A few other friends went through philosophy and then on to law school. All of us became pretty successful, but what I will say is the friends of mine that stayed in that medical career didn't get what exactly they wanted in the beginning. They worked hard, but the openings in med schools just weren't what they were expecting. There's a lot of overseas students that started taking a lot of the positions. A lot of kids that wanted to go with their family practice, because their family were doctors, would try to get into that, and just wasn't affordable, so they had to take a different career option there. I say all that to talk about some of my stances, is that the government regulation aspect of it is not healthy for this country. We need to get away from that. I'm trying to build a house here, as many of you know. I've been working on permitting for over a year, trying to get it figured out. That's ridiculous. I have opened up several businesses on my own, and the steps to get through that are ridiculous. If it wasn't for my dad and my family, I don't know if I would have the guidance to get through a lot of that, but I have that, and I'm very fortunate for that. Another thing about me is that I'm a very hard worker. There's very little time where you won't see me working. I'm up every morning at 5:30, and I don't go to bed till about 1 o'clock. That's just how I was raised up. That's how the American dream has to happen. My generation, God bless them, expects to go to college, get out of college, and have a $100,000 job in 9 to 5. Well, it doesn't work that way. Whether it's our parents, society, whatever the reason was, that's what is expected when people come out of college, and that's not realistic. You have to work. You have to put your dues in. I've been working since 5th grade. I had the opportunity to work at the family business, started washing cars. I learned very early that if you do it your way sometimes and not the person that's guiding you, you're going to make a few big mistakes. So my first job, I wanted something. I still can't remember what it was that I wanted, but my job was to wash. I would get $5 for each car that I washed, and went out and washed about, I think, 35 cars that morning in February. Very cold. Dad came out and said, "Well, never expect something you don't inspect." Well, at first, in 5th grade, I thought he said the same word twice, and didn't really understand that. But then as he saw that the rim was dirty, minus $5. As he saw the windshield was dirty, minus $5. As he saw the ashtray wasn't cleaned out, minus $5. Each car had something wrong. Well, I didn't get paid. I actually owed him money at the end of the day. So, as civil economics would foretell, I had to pay that off. So the whole next summer I worked to pay off the debt that I incurred to not make the cars presentable to be sold. That's retail. That's simplicity. It doesn't get much more easier than that, but it's hard work. So from that, I've been through almost every single department in the dealerships and other businesses that we have, everything from accounting, everything from parts, ordering, inventory, finance, service, new and used. I mean, there's about 5 businesses in a car dealership. So you have to be fluent in all 5 businesses to run one store. So I know how to get groups together. If you think the new car guy and the parts guy and the service guys are the same people, they're not. You got to put them together. You got to have a clear goal. You have to build culture. And as a leader, you're going to make decisions that people may not want to hear or may not want to follow. But as a good leader, you're going to show them the pathway. You're going to show them how that decision will make it successful, how it's the right timing, how it's going to be beneficial for not only the company, the group, the association, but for themselves as well. So as a board member with Etowah Scholarship Foundation, I sit as the treasurer for that. We do that all the time as well. So there's many facets in how to become a leader, and it's not a class that you take. It's not a book that you read, even though those are good, but it's getting in and doing it. And I've been doing that for a long time. Throughout college, I worked throughout college on a professional level, on a golf level, had to keep up my grades to keep the scholarship, had to keep up the golf performance to stay on the team, to keep the scholarship and to play. And I was in a fraternity and did multiple executive positions. And also, one of the things that I did was I created a fundraising event that pays about 15 grand a year now towards the house payments. I founded that. I brought that into our fraternity, and now the fraternities other fraternities beside it are starting to adopt it. That's what being a leader is. That's what showing tenacity is. That's what's getting things going down the right pathway is. So I know that we're about to have some questions and answers, but I wanted to briefly introduce myself to you guys. Matt Laughridge in the State Senate, District 14. Please vote.